We've all experienced it, and this is one of the reasons most people quit the game of golf.
So today, we're answering how to deal with the growing pains of this wonderful sport that we call golf. Golf is not that hard.
Well, it doesn't have to be. That's why we cut through all the highbrow golf BS
to give you what you really need to know to enjoy the golfing experience.
I'm Doug Smith.
And I'm Cheyenne Woods.
And together we have over 50 years experience playing the game of golf at every level.
Every week we'll break down a new topic in 10 minutes or less, answering some of the most popular questions in golf today.
You're welcome.
Hey, it's Cheyenne.
And it's Doug, as always.
And we are back with the very important question of how to deal with the growing pains of golf, which can be rough sometimes, right?
Absolutely. I mean, it's a 4-letter word, right?
It is. So it comes with a lot of good stuff and a lot of bad stuff.
But you have to be ready for it. I think a lot of people get in the game and they think it's going to be something simple, that it's going to be great to just get into and we're going to have fun. It's going to be magical. And then that reality hits them when they try to get the ball off the ground and get it airborne.
Well, I think golf is the one sport, too, where the ball is literally sitting there waiting for you. It's not moving. You don't have a defender running at you. The idea of golf seems very simple and very straight to the point.
Ball on the ground. I've got a club. I'm going to hit it. It's going to go forward.
Hopefully.
Or go straight.
Hopefully, yes.
But that's not the reality of the game.
It's not. And no matter at what level you're at, it's difficult. And so that's why it's important to address the growing pains that whether you're an amateur or intermediate or you've been playing for years and years, this is something that you will experience.
So tell me a little bit, Cheyenne. You've been playing golf for years, junior golf, amateur golf, college golf, professional golf. So as you've gone through golf's ascension, if you will, what have been those hurdles that you've had to jump, and how have you been able to continue forward with all the stressors and all the angst that comes from playing this game?
Like you said, I've been playing for a very long time, and even from the beginning, I struggled. My very first tournament ever as a kid, I got last place. I was bottom of the leaderboard, but it put that little fire in my belly of what I wanted to do and where I could be.
Now, were you surprised by that? Again, we're kids, we're bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. We think this is going to be great. Odds are you played other sports that you were really good at or had some success in, and you jump into golf, and it's not as easy as you may think it should be.
Well, I was actually very excited to see I had the highest score because at the time, I thought, like in basketball or football, the highest score won.
Absolutely.
So I learned very quickly. But, as an athlete, that was something that I had to get used to, was not being good at something. The growing pains of golf. Whether you're going through a swing change or you're just getting started, you kind of have to understand the bigger picture of why you're there. What else do you enjoy about it? You're playing with friends and family, and figure out a way to take the good out of it, I guess.
So as a junior or as a beginner, I think it's really something that needs to be discussed is this game is very, very difficult. It's not so easy to get this ball as airborne as you think it is. I mean, we play a game that's a game of opposites. You swing up, the ball goes down. You swing down, the ball goes up. You swing left, the ball goes right. You swing right, the ball goes left. And any combination of the two, the opposite thing happens with the ball.
That confused me.
Right.
And I've been playing golf for years, but I totally see now where people are coming from. It's a confusing sport.
It really is. And I think once you enter into the commitment to play and want to learn to get better, what you need to also understand is there are going to be things that absolutely piss you off on the front end of learning this golf game. And then I got some even worse news, not to be the Debbie Downer, but as you get better at golf, there's going to be more things that piss you off that didn't piss you off when you were beginning.
Right, and I think that's where temper comes into play. You have to learn how to control your emotions, how to control your mind, and no matter what you're going through, just deal with that this is a game. This is a sport. Let me have fun with it. Yes, I want to get better, but how can I do that in an enjoyable way to where I'm not pissing off the people playing with me?
So my question is, how do you manage the mind to go along with the topic of our episode? What do you do? What are some things and keys to either stay calm and cool? Because, I don't know about you, but I've seen you get frustrated, but I'm not going to tell the listeners how you display your anger. But me, I'll drop a club, I'll toss it, I'll just leave it on the ground, I'll drag it to the next shot. How do you manage your emotions? What are takeaways that we all can do to, I guess, woo-saw these demons away?
Yes, I mentioned it's a game and we're supposed to have fun, but at the end of the day, we do want to play it well. So these emotions are natural. The growing pains are natural. But you do, like you said, need to deal with them in a decent way, which takes some learning. For me, just distracting yourself, as easy as it sounds, focusing just on the next shot. What's done in the past, you can't control anymore. One of the main thoughts I keep in my mind while I'm playing, competing, practicing is what can I control right now? I'm not thinking about the future or the past, but what can I control in this moment? And just go forward from there.
One of the things that I wish I would have learned earlier in golf is that the only things you can control are pretty much anything you do before the shot, the preparation, how focused you are going in, your own expectation and managing those expectations. Because once the ball is struck, you have zero say over what happens next. You can't decide how the ball is going to bounce once it hits the fairway or the rough or the bunker or goes in the water. Once you've made contact, you have to be able to let everything go. Expectation, the lows or the highs or the exhilaration of this shot, you got to be able to let that go and get into the next shot.
100%. And this question was inspired by one of our listeners who wrote in. So obviously this is something that a lot of people deal with. Have you had an experience where you've been able to flip around, mid 9s or mid 18 to either
to turn a good...
either go for the better or for the worse?
It's funny. As we've all played, I think once you get to the point of no expectation, right? Once you've been angered enough through the game where it's just like, I am playing so poorly, or everything that I'm trying is not working. So you know what? I'm not going to try anything. I'm just going to swing. And once you kind of get to that point of no expectation, you really do play better golf. So the question is, how do you harness that in the beginning? If I could figure that out, I wouldn't be on this podcast right now.
We'd all be,
right,
number one in the world. So I think that's a good point, though, because people ask me, when I've had some of my best rounds, what were you thinking about? What were you doing differently?
I think it lets them down, too, when you give them the actual answer.
I mean, and the actual answer is I wasn't thinking about anything. I, a lot of times, don't even know what I was shooting, but you're in that free thinking state of just playing freely and enjoying in the moment.
So the growing pains of golf, pretty simple. You want to give yourself permission to succeed and or fail, and also have the wherewithal to fail gracefully, because in golf, you will fail. Before we move on to our next segment, I just want to give a shout out to all those listeners out there that are sending in their questions, because we do get every message. We do read every post. We do read every comment to our stories. We want to encourage everybody to continue to reach out to us, hit us up, and let us know what you want to hear on Birdies Not BS.
So now it's time for Let's Get Technical. We're taking one of your questions. We're getting a little bit more advanced for some of you more advanced golfers. So golf is an outdoor sport. You deal with a lot of different weather conditions, rain or shine, wind or not wind. Wind is some of my favorite conditions to play. And you mentioned it's yours as well, but it is difficult to hit certain shots. What would you say for players getting out there and the wind gusts up? What are some things they should keep in mind?
Well, you know what? I hate to be super cliche, but I think we've all heard the old adage that when it's breezy, swing easy. It can't be more true. I think a lot of people need to remember that our job as you get more advanced in the golf is to be spin manipulators and aware of spin. So the harder you swing, the faster that club is moving, the more spin that you're going to impart to the ball. Now, we need the opposite of high spin in the wind. We need low spin. So swinging easy is going to allow us to contact the ball a bit better. It's going to be able to flight the ball different trajectories, or trages, as some great golfers say. But also, too, you can manage this by putting the ball a little bit back in your stance, being a little slower to engage your lower body and your full takeaway, and also hitting more of a draw shot will help you manage your ball flight in the wind.
I like that a lot. And like you said, when it's breezy, swing easy. I suggest any of the listeners, you out there, take a higher club, a 7-6-5 iron, put it back in your stance like Doug mentioned, swing easy, and see how that changes the ball trajectory.
And also, I'd say be sure that when you go practice and you're getting ready for a round of golf, be prepared. Be prepared for all conditions. Practice in the rain, practice in the wind, practice downwind, practice right to left, left to right. Prepare yourself as best you can if you want to shoot your best scores. Well, congratulations. You've made it to the end of another episode of Birdies Not BS.
Have you reviewed the show yet? If not, click the 5 stars and let us know why you enjoy listening to Birdies Not BS.